Imagine this. You walk into a room, a clear mission in mind, and then, poof, your brain goes blank. Or perhaps you've been in a high-stakes situation where time seemed to crawl, stretching out every second. If these moments sound eerily familiar, congratulations. Your incredible brain just had a glitch. Our minds are powerful, complex machines, but sometimes they come with a few fascinating software bugs. Today, we're peeling back the layers to reveal 16 of the most common and, frankly, mind-bending brain glitches that we all experience. Get ready to understand your own mind like never before, and maybe even laugh at its quirks. Let's kick off with the ultimate head-scratcher. The doorway disconnect. You stride from one space to another, and your brilliant brain seems to hit a mental reset button, wiping your original intention clean. Scientists call the act of crossing a doorway a mental event boundary. It's like your brain is literally closing one cognitive tab and opening another, dumping the old context to focus on the new. It's designed for efficiency, but it often leaves us in a momentary mental void. The good news? Retracing your steps can often magically reload that missing information. Next up, the time warp effect. Ever had a near miss, maybe in traffic, and felt like everything went into agonizing slow motion? That's your brain performing an incredible feat known as time dilation. In high-stress moments, your brain records way more details than usual. Think of it like a video camera suddenly switching from 30 frames per second to 120 frames per second. Your brain captures those extra frames, creating the powerful illusion that time itself is stretching. This isn't just weird, it's a primal survival mechanism, giving you more processing time to react effectively to threats. It's why terrifying moments feel frozen while everyday life speeds by. Now for a glitch that makes you feel like you're in a secret club, the Baader-Meinhof moment. You learn a new word, a niche concept, or buy a specific car, and suddenly you see it everywhere. It's not magic, it's simply your brain's filtering system getting a software update. Your mind is constantly bombarded with information, and once something becomes relevant to you, it starts prioritizing it, bringing it to the forefront of your awareness. The world didn't change overnight. Your perception just got sharper. This explains why new trends seem to explode onto the scene right after you first hear about them. Prepare for a truly unsettling glitch, the memory mirage. Your memory isn't a perfect, pristine recording of the past. Instead, it's a dynamic reconstruction, and sometimes your brain fills in gaps with details that simply never happened. Studies shockingly show that people can be convinced they saw or experienced things that never occurred, even with vivid, emotional detail. This is a major reason why eyewitness testimony can be unreliable, and why two people can swear they remember the same event completely differently. In extreme cases, entire false memories can be planted, with the person having no idea. Our brains are, in a way, just too good at crafting convincing narratives. Then there's that peculiar, spine-tingling sensation, the déjà vu enigma. You walk into a place you've never been, yet it feels uncannily, inexplicably familiar. Déjà vu is genuinely one of the strangest brain glitches, and scientists still don't fully grasp its mechanisms. One compelling theory suggests it happens when your brain accidentally files a brand new experience as if it were an old memory, creating a weird time loop effect. Another intriguing idea proposes that it's linked to minor brain delays, creating a brief glitch in the matrix where sensory information arrives twice, milliseconds apart. Whatever the cause, it remains one of the most widely experienced yet deeply mysterious brain quirks we encounter. Now for something truly wild, the McCollough effect, or the color aftershock. If you stare at certain color patterns for long enough, your brain will literally hallucinate colors that aren't there, sometimes for hours, even days later. This is a bizarre optical glitch that still puzzles scientists. Unlike typical afterimages which fade quickly, this effect can profoundly rewire how your brain interprets visual input, proving that your brain doesn't just passively receive information, it actively reshapes it. And sometimes it gets things spectacularly wrong. Imagine this terrifying scenario. You look at your loved ones, but your brain is utterly convinced they've been replaced by imposters. This is Capgras Delusion, a rare but profoundly disturbing brain glitch. It's believed to be caused by a disconnect between the part of your brain that recognizes faces and the part that triggers emotional responses to those faces. Your brain recognizes the physical features, but fails to evoke the usual feelings of familiarity. The disturbing result is a profound sense that someone you know has been swapped with an identical lookalike. Often seen in cases of brain injury or psychiatric conditions, it highlights just how fragile our sense of reality can be. Ever glanced at a text or a sign and thought you read it correctly, only to realize you misinterpreted it entirely? Welcome to the scene completion trap. Your brain is incredibly efficient, often filling in missing information based on expectations and context. This is super useful for speed reading and understanding incomplete data, but it can also lead to embarrassing mistakes. It's why we sometimes misread words, misinterpret messages, or even see things that aren't truly there. Your brain is constantly predicting, trying to be efficient, but sometimes it just gets ahead of itself. You know the word, you can almost hear it in your head, but for some infuriating reason, you just can't say it. That's the frustrating tip of the tongue tangle. Researchers believe this glitch happens when your brain stores the meaning and the sound of a word in different neural locations, and for some reason, they just don't sync up fast enough for retrieval. The good news? That elusive word almost always comes back to you at the most random, often inconvenient moment. Ever accidentally called your teacher mom or mixed up words in a completely embarrassing way? That's a classic verbal slip-up, a brain glitch where similar words get tangled because they're stored close together in your mental dictionary. Fatigue, stress, or even trying to multitask can make these mix-ups far more frequent. It's mostly harmless, but often hilarious, especially when you blurt out something completely unexpected. Your brain is fast, but sometimes that speed comes at the cost of perfect accuracy. You're desperately looking for your phone, and it's literally in your hand, or you can't find your glasses because they're on your head. This common glitch happens because your brain sometimes tunes out familiar objects, especially if they're part of your routine or in an unexpected place. If your mind expects your keys to be on the counter, it might literally not see them when they're in your pocket. This phenomenon is called inattentional blindness. Sometimes you don't find what you're looking for because your brain decides it's simply not there. Ever typed a message and only later realized you swapped words without even noticing? Autocorrect isn't always the culprit. Sometimes your brain itself wires in the wrong word. You might mean to text coffee, but end up typing cookie instead. This happens because your mind groups similar concepts together, and your fingers might follow old muscle memory. You think you wrote one thing, but your brain autofills something else. It's a truly digital age brain glitch we all deal with, like autocorrect that you can't turn off. You leave the house, walk a few steps, and then that sudden, unsettling doubt hits. Wait, did I actually lock the door? This happens because routine actions are often handled by your subconscious processes, meaning you don't always form a conscious memory of doing them. Your brain automates common tasks, making them feel almost invisible for efficiency. That's great for speed, but terrible for confidence. While sometimes you genuinely did forget, most of the time your brain is just second-guessing itself. Ever read an entire page, then suddenly realize you have absolutely no idea what you just read? This is reading without registering. Your brain can mechanically process words automatically, but true comprehension requires active focus and engagement. Your eyes might follow the lines, but if your mind is drifting, the meaning simply won't stick. This classic glitch happens when attention drifts, causing a disconnect between your vision and your cognition. It's why we sometimes have to go back and reread the same paragraph over and over. You're not a bad reader, your brain just temporarily checked out. You mishear a song lyric or someone's sentence, and suddenly it makes absolutely no sense. This is auditory alchemy, a common auditory glitch where your brain fills in missing sounds or clarifies ambiguous speech based on context, expectations, and even background noise. It's why song lyrics are so often misheard, famously turning sweet dreams are made of these into sweet dreams are made of cheese. Your brain is always trying to make sense of the noise around you, even if it gets it hilariously wrong. Finally, a glitch for the digital age, the app amnesia. You unlock your phone, tap an app, and then you've completely forgotten why you opened it in the first place. This happens because digital distractions can powerfully hijack your short-term memory. The very act of unlocking your phone or seeing another notification can interrupt your train of thought. It's essentially the doorway effect in digital form, and our constant multitasking makes it even more common. You didn't forget, you just experienced a classic cognitive glitch. So which of these incredible brain glitches happens to you the most? Share your experiences in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. Understanding these little quirks can give us fascinating insight into the incredible and sometimes eccentric workings of our own minds. If you found this journey into brain glitches insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into psychology and science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.